Hit the lights, play the music, grab all your snacks because it's time for the greatest party of the summer. SummerSlam is here, the first ever two-night SummerSlam, and I'm ready to make some predictions. Welcome, everybody, to the SummerSlam 2025 edition of the Announce Table. I am your host and esteemed wrestling fan here at Cinco Squad, Mike DeSanto, and I'm ready for SummerSlam. I've been really hyped. We're having two nights this year, which is super exciting, Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a great time, so let's get to night one of SummerSlam. 6 matches are set for the card at night one for SummerSlam. We're going to start with Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Now, it's up in the air as to whether Drew McIntyre is actually going to be able to make the show. I guess we're going to find out. Maybe this is recorded before SmackDown, so perhaps we found out on SmackDown. But either way, I don't think it really matters exactly who's replacing Drew or if it's Drew himself, because I think Randy Orton and Jelly Roll are going to win. And for some reason, I get a strange feeling that Jelly Roll is going to be a natural to professional wrestling, just like Logan Paul seems to be, which I guess is why they're paired up. So give me Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I feel like it's Orton, and it's a celebrity of, major fame these days, so you're not really going to have them lose. Probably, I'm going to say Jelly Roll probably pins Logan, or if they are more likely to replace Drew with whoever that is, they might take the pin, since you could kind of save Logan at that point. Next up, singles match between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. The stipulation for this is if Kross wins, then Sami has to say Kross was right. If Sami wins, then Kross has to say I was wrong about Sami Zayn. Based on how this has been going and how you can take it, and the fact that it seems to be about building Kross as well as kind of the underdog mentality again with Sami, I think Kross should win here. You can have Sami say Kross was right. You can almost have him do kind of like a Daniel Bryan thing when it came to being with the Wyatt family a few years ago, where you could kind of have Sami take a darker turn and go down a darker road before eventually being saved by somebody. Not sure who. Maybe Jey Uso or the whole entire bloodline, since Sami does make sense for the Survivor Series team. But I think you could have him kind of go down that darker road, get saved in time for the Survivor Series, and somebody, probably Jay or Jimmy, fights off Kross. But at this point, let's have Kross win. Speaking of the bloodline and Roman and Jay are facing Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed in a tag team match. That's because Seth is out, so we're going to have these two teams face off. It makes sense, and I think this is tough, but I feel like Roman and Jay need to win. I think Bronson probably takes the pin here from Roman, especially because Bronson stole his shoes, which I don't get why everybody's freaking out over that, but just beside the point. I digress. Roman and Jay get the win here. You can kind of have Bronson take the pin. Both teams are good. I think both teams have bright futures ahead of them. More Roman and Jay, more of the world title picture now. Braun and Bronson, maybe the world title picture moving forward. Tag team match, women's tag team championships. It's the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Perez recently replaced an injured Liv Morgan as far as being tag champs versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Now, I like the pairing with Flair and Bliss, but I think Judgment Day retains here because I think we might tease towards a new Judgment Day, which I'll get to on night 2. But Judgment Day, the women, I think they keep the titles here, but Flair and Bliss definitely could be tag champs moving forward in the future, maybe this winter. Then we have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, they're pushing Jade pretty hard normally, but I don't think she's ready for a title. Tiffany Stratton, I think, should retain here because I think she's been doing good as the champion. I think they need to give her more time to continue to build that reign. Jade will be women's champion at some point. I just don't think you need to do it yet. So let's have Tiffany win here and continue her reign, maybe going into the Rumble. Finally, on night 1, I think this definitely is going to be the main event. It's Heavyweight Championship singles match between Gunther and CM Punk. I think Punk wins this match. I think Gunther took it off of Jay to give Punk a heel to go up against and win. I think CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight Championship. However, I'm going to call it now. Surprise, super early return based on when he is supposed to come back. Seth Rollins returns from his knee injury that wasn't as bad as it was expected to be and cashes in. CM Punk is screwed out of his World Heavyweight Championship by Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins sets up a continued feud with CM Punk and becomes World Heavyweight Champion. So that's night one. Let me know what you think about night one in the comments and, see what you think is going to be the winners of those matches. But moving on to night two. This is more of the title packed night where every match currently, called for, every card obviously is usually subject to change. There's 6 matches, all of them are title matches. Starting off a 6-pack TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the Wyatt Six, current champions, Andrade and Rey Fenix, DIY, Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. Great teams. Like I'm a real big fan of how the tag division has built up. These 6 teams are great. I think any of them could win. But let's keep it on the Wyatt Six. I think you just gave it to them. You're really starting to build them fully after they had some injury issues that really kind of derailed the beginning of this gimmick. I want to see where this gimmick goes, especially with the titles. So, in a TLC match where carnage and violence is the idea, how about a couple demented guys in Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy? Have them just tear everybody apart in the end and stand tall. They'll win the titles. Singles match for the IC title. AJ Styles finally gets the title match he's wanted out of Dominic Mysterio. And unfortunately, AJ, I'm sorry to say, I think Dominic does win this match because I think Roxanne Perez is going to help him win. And like I had said it for night one, I think we're headed towards a new Judgment Day, which could be everybody but Liv. I think Roxanne's replacing Liv. Maybe you move Liv off and do her own thing like you did Rhea. Either that, or if that doesn't happen, somebody's getting involved. I could see if Dom's going to lose, it be Finn Balor that screws him along with Roxanne, and then it's Dom and Liv getting kicked out of the Judgment Day, and we still get a new Judgment Day. I just feel like we're going to do a new Judgment Day either way, but I'm going to err on the side of Roxanne helps Dominic win, and he retains the IC title. U.S. title in a steel cage match, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. Steel cage designed specifically to keep the MFTs of Solo Sikoa out, but I think we know that's not going to happen. I think Solo does retain here because the MFTs probably Hikuleu, or I'm sorry, Talatonga. I'm going to have trouble not calling him Hikuleu moving forward. Talatonga, I guess, is his new name. They'll probably do the showing how strong he is thing by having him break the lock and open the door, and they'll help, and yada, yada, yada. Solo ends up escaping with the help of the MFTs, and Jacob once again gets screwed out of a chance to win back his U.S. title. No DQ, no countout, last chance match for the women's IC title. It's Becky Lynch, the current champion, versus Lyra Valkyria. If Lynch wins, Valkyria can't challenge for the title as long as Lynch is champion. Let's get cut to the chase. I think Bayley is going to screw Lyra out of this win. There's nothing that says that getting, it's a no DQ. There's nothing that says that anything can cause Lyra to win and she still can't challenge. So I think Bayley screws Lyra. That Bayley turns heel. They start a feud, and Becky moves forward to a new challenger. Bayley constantly being taken out of her, spots. She hasn't gotten the opportunity, so you turn her into that kind of heel, which is like, I've had opportunity after opportunity taken away from me, and I'm tired of it. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get into my spot that I deserve. So she screws Lyra. Becky wins. Becky doesn't care. She's a heel too. So Becky can move on to a new challenger. They face each other, and everybody goes home happy with this match. Triple Threat Women's World Championship. Naomi, the current champion, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky in this Triple Threat. Been loving how they've kind of been teaming up, Ripley and Sky. Naomi has been doing great work, and I think Naomi deserves to keep this title. She just won it. Don't take it away from her. Give Naomi a chance is back, and this time she's a heel. And Rhea can probably take the pin. I think she's a big enough star that if she gets pinned, it's understandable in a triple threat. And you don't turn either Rhea or Io heel in this match. You let Naomi win. Rhea takes the pin. Io remains a favorite because I think a pin hurts her more than Rhea. So let's have Naomi pin Rhea for the win. Finally, a street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. It's heel John Cena, something I never thought I'd say, versus Minute Maid Fruit Punch Cody Rhodes. I being that the rumor is it's December 13th, I believe, that is supposed to be the makeshift pay-per-view special event that is Cena's last match before he probably shows up on Raw and SmackDown to say goodbye for real. Now might be the time to have Cody win. In a street fight, I think Cody can show that he's, you know, a tough guy. He has a bit of Dusty in him where, he can get gritty. He can be the working champion, working man's champion. He's not just the pretty boy like some people think he is. And you can kind of have him turn heel here when it comes to winning the title. I think it's time for Homelander Cody as well, so maybe you can have him with some dirty tactics. You give a respectful moment. Maybe you give a respectful moment where he beats Cena clean, and you have Cena show him respect, turn face, and then Cody low blows him like Cena did to him, turn him heel. Maybe it just acts as like a Hogan Rock match where by the end of it, Cena's the face and Cody's the heel. I'm not sure. There's a lot of places you can go with this, but I think it's time to turn John face. We've gotten the heel run. We've gotten what we wanted out of him as far as, he finally turned heel and he's done a good job at it, as I'm sure everybody knew he would. But let's turn him face. Let's give him the fall, the rest of the summer, the end of the summer, the fall and the winter until he's done by the end of the year to really give him his flowers, really give him the send off as a face, as the John Cena that we've all known and deep down loved. Let's give him that. Have Cody move forward as champion, however you see fit to do that. So, those are my predictions for SummerSlam. Again, let me know what you think of night 1 and night 2, who you think's going to win in the comments. Let me know how you're going to watch it, what snacks you're going to be having, where you're watching, who you're watching with, because it's the greatest party of the summer, the biggest party of the summer, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I've been Mike DeSanto, your host here at the announce table. I appreciate you all turning in. Like, share, subscribe. Cinco Squad Pod 05. Check out the main show. We got big things coming for the main show coming up in August. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you guys all next time at the table.